What's up, everybody? 32 Icon here. I hope that you guys are doing well. I'm doing well myself. Please go ahead and like and subscribe if you haven't already, in good faith that I will continue bringing you great content. Oh, and I'm just another YouTube personality, so take what I say with a grain of salt and do your own research, okay? All right, so here we go. Listen, if you watched the previous video, you know that I'm doing a series on the Apex triggers. Apex was kind enough to send me 3 triggers last week, but 4 in total. And they sent me this t-shirt, and they also sent me the upper and lower block of the FN 509 so that I can take that apart. And listen, I am super duper happy. So this is going to be series, because I already did the original video, so that was series 1 of 4. This is series 2 of 4, and this is the SIG P320 X carry. So now let's get into it. First of all, on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is like, this is easy breezy to install, could do it with my eyes closed, to number 10, which is, oh my God, I can deal. I'm about to throw this gun across the kitchen table. This was a 3. This was a 3 to install. But before we get into the installation of it, let me just tell you exactly what it does, because I want to make sure that I don't mess any of this up, because triggers are new to me. I'm getting into the groove of it, and I want to make sure that I do this trigger justice. So according to Apex Tactical, this is a regular drop-in trigger. All right, you could just drop this in, and it reduces the trigger travel approximately, what is this, 30%, which is accurate, because that stock trigger, Lord have mercy, awful. It reduces the reset, which it does. In fact, this had the second best reset next to the M&P. It was even better than the 509 that I have. So the reset on this, I will argue maybe even more than 20%, but then again, listen, I'm no genius. I'm gonna take Apex word. It doesn't reduce the pull weight in the X Carry series. So this is the X Carry series. On the original, it will reduce the pull weight to about 30%, but on this, it doesn't reduce the pull weight, but it reduces the overall travel in the trigger 30%. And of course, it maintains its safety when it comes to drop tests. All right, so let's get into it. Number 1, that stock trigger was super duper spongy. That was the number 1 reason why I did not like this gun. I mean, listen, I like it. It's a sharp looking piece. It's well engineered. The ingenuity of this firearm is immaculate, right? The problem was, for me, I don't know if you guys remember, but it had like a little spongy trigger, and it was like, it was at like an angle, like a 45-degree angle. And so when you pull the trigger back, it ended up being a 90 angle by the time it went bang, right? But it was thick and it was spongy, and I did not like it. It was not, it threw everything off about the gun that I thought made it really superb. It was the trigger. So the trigger was awful, but listen, this Apex trigger did miracles. So number 1, I told you, the reset, not only is the reset reduced dramatically, the reset is soft. So what I did was, I'll show you video of me taking the pull weight on my little lineman, right? And I did it about 3 times because I wanted to see where it was before, because I forgot to, well, I hadn't shot it in a while, so I didn't even know where I stood with that. But I did it about 3 times, and I believe the average was about 3 pounds. And honestly, it felt heavier because it was so spongy. So listen, the gun is empty, and so I'm going to show you this trigger. So let's get started. So here we are. And by the way, look at the angle in which the trigger is lying, right? It kind of comes straight down, but then gives you that little boop at the end, right where you can rest the end of your finger, right? And then the finger pad, right in there, rests right in here. I think that's brilliant. All right, here we go. So that's the take up right there. I'm at the wall. All right, no over travel on that. Here goes the reset. That's the reset. Pretty short. Here we go. Oh man, I'm gonna show you that again. The reset is soft. Now on here, it's very audible and tactile, but when you're actually shooting, it's soft, like it feels good. And I underestimated the take up. I shot these all at the same time, but now I'm surprised again about the extreme reduced take up. Here we go again. Right there. Oh my gosh. Wall. And reset. Right there. All right, so. You ready? I'm ready. All right, I'm gonna hold this because I want to hold it so you guys can see it. Now remember, I told you I hold near the bottom because that's where my finger normally goes. And usually when you hold at the bottom, it has a lighter pull than it would if you were holding in the middle of the trigger. All right. Oops, let me clear this. Ready? See if you guys can see this. All right, 3.4 pounds, 3 pounds, 4 ounces. Clear that. All right, here we go. 2 pounds, 0.9 ounces. All right, clear that. And 2.9 again. All right, so when I do the average, it's saying around 2.9 ounces, which is the last gauge that I got, but basically it's around 3 pounds. Now, when I did the previous pull, I believe it was like 3 pounds, 5 ounces, something like that. So listen, it doesn't change necessarily the overall pull weight because that's what Apex says, but it reduces the overall travel, it reduces the reset, pre-travel, all of that. And it's a softer feel. The trigger on it is thinner. It's enough space here on the face of the trigger where you can rest your finger pad here. So it's really comfortable. And when I say that Apex really did their research on that, they really did, because like I said before, I didn't even like the gun because of the trigger. So Apex swooped in, found a solution, and was able to give us a trigger that one can really enjoy. Now, I gave you guys the rating of 3, and let me tell you why. The trigger return spring, Apex makes it look very easy, but I'm gonna be very honest with you. I'm kind of a newbie when it comes to disassembling and reassembling, because like, I don't take it down to the barrel and the recoil spring. That's it. I'm not disassembling my entire gun. So now when I have to mess with different springs here and, you know, pop off sights there, I'm just like, oh my gosh. But this this trigger return spring, it was a beast to take off and it was a beast to put back on. Outside of that, everything else was simple. Everything else was easy breezy. You drop the trigger in, you move this around, you click that, and boom, you were done. I can't remember how long it took me. I think it took me like maybe half hour, 45 minutes, because I was playing around with that spring, and I was so afraid that I would distort the spring. But pretty much you had to manhandle that little spring, and I was not willing to do that because I was like, dang, if I bend the spring out of shape, then I'm gonna have to call sick, I'm gonna have to ask it was a whole process. So I was being super gentle, and to the point of me losing my patience, and I was like, I'm gonna get this spring out and I'm gonna get this spring in, so help me God. And once I changed my mentality and I did it, it was easy breezy. I have about, I don't know, 60 to 80 rounds through this trigger as of yesterday, through this new trigger as of yesterday. So I'm definitely gonna be putting some more rounds down range, and I'm gonna see how it holds up. During that time, of course, I didn't have any malfunctions, no safety issues, no like funkiness going on with the trigger. So it was just fine. But yeah, I only have 60 or 80 rounds through it. But I think I shot about 300 rounds or so yesterday. So listen, that's a lot of rounds when you on a budget. I only got about, I told you I sold all my ammo because I was paying off some stuff. But anyway, I went on a tangent. But my point is, Apex delivered for the SIG P320. And I'm happy that I got my hands on it. So listen, if you're thinking about, my X-Carry is good, but I want it to be better, go ahead and purchase the trigger. Now, I will say this, the trigger is about, well, this packet, and I'll post a picture of, I don't think I did that, but I'll post a picture of the packet in which they gave me. But just so you guys know, this is the Apex flat forward set trigger kit. All right. And yeah. So listen, once you get it into your firearm, you'll be happy that you did. And again, I believe it's like $125-ish. So if that's important to you, go ahead and purchase it. If it's not, you really don't care, you're okay with the factory trigger, then that's fine too. But this trigger is definitely day and night for the factory trigger, and because of it, I will be shooting it more. Anyway, thank you, Apex, and thank you guys for watching. I hope you're treating one another with kindness, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks. Peace.